Hi, this is Jessica Ortner from thetappingsolution.com with a Mind Body Green exclusive. In just a few minutes, I'm going to teach you a stress relief technique that you can use immediately to see a significant difference in your emotional and physical health. EFT, also known as tapping, is a stress relief technique where you use your fingers to tap on acupressure points. When we have an anxiety, there is a part of our brain, the amygdala, which is firing off that fight or flight response. We have an overproduction of cortisol. Our heart begins to beat faster. We do all of this because this is how we should react when we're under any physical threat. We have a physical danger. The problem is a lot of the things that are bothering us aren't actually real physical dangers. And by having this anxiety, we're unable to think clearly and be resourceful. By focusing on what's bothering you and stimulating these points, you send a calming signal to the brain, letting your brain know that it's safe to relax. And so that is what we're doing here. So let me teach you where these tapping points are and how you can get started. The first part is the side of the hand where the fleshy part is. So just use your fingers and tap there. It doesn't matter what side of the body you tap on. The next point is the eyebrow point, where you use your two fingers and tap where the beginning of your eyebrow begins, right on that bone. Then you're going to follow that bone until you're on the side of the eye, tapping there. Underneath the eye, staying on the bone. I hope you're tapping along with me. Underneath the nose. Then we have the chin point, which is the crease between the chin and the lip. Then the collarbone point. I like to use one hand and just tap where a man's bow tie would lie, and you'll stimulate that point. Then underneath the arm, where, for women this is easy, it's where your bra strap lies. For men, measure it because it's a hand width from your armpit. And then we are ending on the top of the head. Great meridian point there. Great, so now that is one round. Now let me show you how to do the whole process. You begin with the setup statement. The setup statement is, even though, and you state the problem. So even though I have this anxiety, even though I'm nervous about this deadline, whatever it is, even though I have this problem, I accept myself and how I feel, or I love and accept myself. This is when people have some problems. They're wondering, why would I ever say I accept something that I want to get rid of? But this sets us up for the whole process. It helps neutralize judgment we have around the problem and lets us go deeper. So you begin there, and then you tap on the rest of the points by focusing on how you feel. It's not so much about saying anything fancy. It's about really focusing on the energy that you want to clear, that anxiety, triggering that feeling, and then stimulating those meridian points. So let's do an example all together. If you are stressed about a deadline, you tap on the side of the hand and say, even though I have all this anxiety around this deadline, I accept myself and how I feel. You say that 3 times, and then you tap on the rest of the points by simply stating how you feel. So for example, you might say, this deadline, side of the eye, this anxiety. Under the eye, it's too much for one person. Under the nose, there's too much going on. Chin, this deadline. Collarbone, the pressure around this deadline. Under the arm, this deadline. Top of the head, all of this anxiety around this deadline. And again, that is just one round. You want to continuously go through those rounds while you're focusing on how you feel until you get to the point where you can think about that deadline. You can talk about it without having that physical stress response. And that really is what makes the biggest difference. So make sure to read more about how tapping works so you can begin to tap right away and see the results for yourself.